कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let us begin our Bhakti Vaibhava course study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. We are studying the third canto, chapter 4, entitled Mahatma Vidur approaches Sri Maitreya Muni, and we are going to study from text 30. So, Srimad Bhagavatam 3.4.30. Let us begin with our auspicious invocation, Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. These are our memorization verses for module number 4. तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा याहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम् नेत्रे पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूतः पदमापुरस्य अहो बकीयं स्तनकालकूटं जिघ्रांसयापाययदप्यसाध्वी लेभे गतिं धात्र्युचितां ततोऽन्यं कं वा दयालुं शरणं व्रजेम. अशेषसङ्क्लेशशमं विधत्ते गुणानुवाद शरणं मुरारे किं वा पुनस्तच्चरणारविन्द परागसेवा रतिरात्मलब्धा. सोऽहं नृणां क्षुल्यसुखाय दुःखं महद्गतानां विरमाय तस्य प्रवर्तये भागवतं पुराणं यदाह साक्षात् भगवान् ऋषिभ्यः. त्वं भक्तियोगपरिभावितरित्सरोज आस्ये श्रुते क्षितपथो ननु नाथ पुंसाम् यद्यद्धियातौरुगाय विभावयन्ति तत्तद्वपु प्रणयसे सदनुग्रहाय. सोऽसावदभ्रकरुणो भगवान् विवृद्ध प्रेम स्मितेन नयनाम्बुरुहं विजृम्भम् उत्थाय विश्वविजयाय च नो विषादम् मात्व्यागिरापनयतात् पुरुषः पुराणः. ससर्जाग्र्यन्धतामिस्रम् अथ तामिस्रमादिकृत् महामोहं च मोहं च तमश्चाज्ञानवृत्तयः। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So, devotees, let us continue reading from Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam 3.4.30. अस्माल्लोकाद् उपरते मयि ज्ञानं मदाश्रयम् अर्हत् उद्धव एवाद्धा सम्प्रत् आत्मवतां वरः। Translation and purport by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Srila Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Panch Tattva ki jai. Shri Shukdev Goswami is describing to Maharaj Parikshit. Now he is describing what Lord Krishna thought to himself. Please pay attention. Shri Shukdev Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit what Lord Krishna was thinking before Krishna departed from this world. So Shukdev Goswami is telling Krishna's thoughts. Krishna is thinking, Asmal lokad uparate. Now I shall leave the vision of this material world. I will leave this material world, this mundane world. And I see that Uddhav, the foremost of my devotees, Mad Ashrayam, is the only one who can be directly entrusted with knowledge about me. Mai Jnanam. Uddhav is the only one who is qualified to have my knowledge, and he's the foremost among my devotees. Purport. Jnanam Mad Ashrayam is significant in this verse. Transcendental knowledge has three departmental divisions: knowledge of Brahman, the impersonal absolute truth, knowledge of the all pervading super soul, Paramatma, and knowledge of the personality of Godhead, Bhagavan Krishna. Out of three, transcendental knowledge of the personality of Godhead, Bhagavan, has special significance and is known as Bhagavad Tattva Vijnana, specific knowledge of Krishna. And only a pure devotee through pure devotional service can understand this. By no other means it can be understood. Bhagavad Gita 18.55 confirms this. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tatvata. Krishna says that only Bhaktya mam abhijanati, only a devotee can understand me. Uddhava was considered to be the best amongst all devotees of that time, and therefore he was directly instructed by Lord Krishna. Text 31. Also, Prabhupada makes a very important point here. One who is transcendently advanced, last sentence, can gain inspiration from the temple deity. Temple deity can give us inspiration. Temple deity can guide us in our spiritual progress. And thus, a devotee of Lord Krishna always takes shelter of a recognized temple of the Lord in order to make tangible advancement in transcendental knowledge by the grace of the Lord. In other words, to make spiritual advancement, one should take shelter of some recognized temple, some deity of the Lord. Can you raise your hand and give me example of someone who did something very great by getting the blessings of a particular deity in a temple? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, Darshini?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Published by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami from Radha Madan Mohan Temple.
Huh? I didn't hear, sorry. Hare Krishna?
The Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami path getting mercy
Yes,
of
that's exactly what I was thinking. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. took blessings of Madan Mohan and Govinda ji. Shama Vallavi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Baldev Vidyabhushan went to Radha Govinda temple.
Jai Ho. Very nice. And what was his commentary named? Govinda Bhashya.
Govinda Bhashyam.
Govinda Bhashya, because Lord Govinda dictated. And Janani Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can we take the example of Gaur Govind Maharaj?
Yes, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj also. His inspiration was Gopal. Actually, Gopal gave him the inspiration to do everything. And from the childhood, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj was so much attracted to Gopal of Gadaigiri. And at the last moment also, he asked for Gopal. I want to take darshan of Gopal. So Gopal inspired him to travel around the world. Gopal inspired Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj to take sannyas. That is also described. It's very nice example. Divya Mataji and then Pariva Mataji.
What was Sakshi Gopal? The deity Sakshi Gopal?
Okay. What about Sakshi Gopal?
I don't remember the Brahmin who worshipped Sakshi Gopal, but he asked him to be a witness to the
Okay.
promise that was made by
Yes.
his.
Okay. Yeah. That's also a good example. That the question was example of some devotee who performed some great act of devotion by getting inspiration from a particular deity to do that seva. But okay, that's good. Sakshi Gopal and the young Brahman had a very amazing transcendental relationship. Okay, Pariva Mataji, you have an example of that?
Prabhuji, I don't know if I can give that example, but the very birth of our dear Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Vimla Devi, and how the cart of Jagannath stopped, and Jagannath gave the indication that he's going to be a future
Acharya.
Acharya.
Nice example. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to Jagannath. So very nice examples all of you gave. So Prabhupada is saying that one who is very advanced devotee can gain direct inspiration from the temple deity. Like Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, direct inspiration he got to compose Chaitanya Charitamrita. Therefore, having some relationship with some deity is important. Our Radha Shyam Sundar of Vrindavan, Radha Raman Vrindavan, or Sri Narsimhadev in Mayapur, our Panchatattva in Mayapur Dham, Radha Madhav Ashtasakhi, some deity, recognized prominent deity, specifically deities that Srila Prabhupada or his followers have installed, we should have some special relationship, special attraction. And best is to have a relationship with our local ISKCON temple deity or our home deity. We should have some connection with the deity. Then we will get inspiration. Text 31. Noddhavan api manyuno yadgunairnardita prabhu ato madvayunam lokam grahayan ihatishtatu. Translation. Krishna is thinking again. Uddhav is not inferior to me in any way because he is never affected by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he may remain in this world in order to disseminate specific knowledge of Mat Vayunam, knowledge of me. He may remain to spread knowledge of me. So, a person who is not affected by the three modes of material nature is situated in Shuddha Sattva or Vasudev. This platform is called Vasudev, Prabhupada says. See, the specific qualification for becoming a representative of Lord Krishna is to be unaffected by the modes of material nature. Prabhupada is saying in the purport. Further on, Prabhupada says, who is a Jivan Mukta person? Who is a liberated person? So, one should become completely, one should understand Krishna and one should be completely engaged in Krishna's service. That is called Jivan Mukta. And Srila Prabhupada quotes a verse from Srila Rupa Goswami's Shri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.187. Very important verse. This is a Bhakti Shastri memorization verse also. We all had this. Iha yasya harer dasya karmana manasa gira nikhila sab avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. Everybody remembers this verse? So, iha yasya harer dasya, engage in Krishna's service, karmana manasa gira, through our body, through our mind, and through our speech. Karmana manasa gira harer dasya, engage in haridasatva. Nikhlash api avasthasu jivan mukta sa uchyate. Such a person, even though maybe working in this world, maybe a IT engineer, maybe a businessman, maybe a lawyer, or any other professional working in this world. But if through body, karmana, mind, manasa, and gira, through vani, if he is engaged in service of Lord Hari, iha yasya harer dasya, then jivan mukta sauchyate. He is jivan mukta, he is liberated even though he is in this world physically. And Prabhupada says Uddhava was such a transcendental devotee. Therefore, he was selected by Krishna to become his representative. Text 32. To be a representative of Krishna is a very big responsibility. 32. Evam triloka guruna sandishta shabdayonina badaryashramam asadya harim ije samadhina. So now we are back to Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami informed King Parikshit that Sri Uddhav, being thus instructed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is Triloka Guru. Triloka Guru means Guru of all the three worlds, which also means he is Jagat Guru. Another term for Vasudeva Jagat Guru or Vande Krishnam Jagat Guru is Triloka Guru. So Krishna is Triloka Guru, spiritual master of all the three worlds. And Uddhav was instructed by Krishna, who is Jagat Guru. Then Uddhav reached the pilgrimage site of Badrikashram. Badaryashramam asadya. He reached Badrikashram, and what did he do? Harim ije. He engaged himself in the service of Lord Hari. How? Samadhina. By being in a meditative trance, just absorbed in thoughts of Lord Hari. Can you tell me an interesting connection with Sri Chaitanya Leela here? I will be very happy if someone can answer this question. What is the connection with Sri Gaura Leela here? Shama Vallavi Mataji, go ahead.
Prabhuji, I don't know exactly, Prabhuji, whether this one. Srinivasa Acharya went in trance and then his wife was afraid. Then he called his disciple and he will, Srinivasa Acharya's disciple, he will go and find out that he is Guna Manjari. I do not know exactly the names, Prabhuji. Then he will find out, then he will be finding out Radharani's nose ring got lost.
No, this is good. What you're saying is good. But I'm saying, here, who are we discussing? Who are we discussing? Who is in Samadhi? Who went to Badrikashram?
Uddhava went to Badrikashram and he was in trance.
Any connection with Gaur Leela? As far as Samadhi is concerned? Okay. I will tell. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj describes that different devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in different ways. This is the Ante Leela. Shri Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is Lalita Sakhi, he would sing for Mahaprabhu. Shri Ramananda Rai would describe the esoteric Radha Krishna Rasa Tattva to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for Mahaprabhu's pleasure. Swarup Damodar Goswami would sing the songs of Chandidas, Vidyapati, Git Govind for Mahaprabhu's pleasure. And Ramananda Rai would tell wonderful, wonderful stories from Srimad Bhagavatam, wonderful stories from different scriptures, and nice Rasik Leelas of Radha and Krishna. Radha Krishna Rasa Leela, he would describe Ramananda Rai. And Paramananda Puri worshipped Mahaprabhu by just meditation, samadhi, meditating on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here it is said about Uddhavji, Harim ije samadhina, that he worshipped Hari by samadhi. And there Paramananda Puri, who is incarnation of Uddhav, is worshipping Gaura Hari samadhi, by meditation. So what Uddhav is doing in Dwapar Yuga, that same Uddhav who came as Paramananda Puri in Gaur Leela is doing in Gaur Leela, samadhi. So devotees, they in Gaur Leela, Krishna Leela, they retain their individual method of serving Krishna. Another example is Shripad Vallabhacharya. He is also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he wrote beautiful verses, he wrote beautiful commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. And in Krishna Leela, who is Shripad Vallabhacharya? In Gaur Leela, he is commenting on Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes, Pariva Mataji?
Prabhuji, he is Shukadev actually, incarnation of Shuka, right?
He's Shukdev Goswami. So Shukdev Goswami incarnated as Shripad Vallabhacharya. So in Krishna Lila, he is speaking Krishna Lila as Shuka. And in Gaur Lila, that same Shukdev Goswami came as Shripad Vallabhacharya and wrote commentary, Subodhini Tika, on Srimad Bhagavatam. So devotees retain their specific quality. Brahmaji says in Kalisantana Upanishad, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Iti Shodashakam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam Nato Paropadarupaya Sarva Vedeshi Dushyate. Same Brahmaji comes in Gaur Leela Haridas Thakur and chants this Iti Shodashakam Nam. Becomes Namacharya. In Kalisantana Upanishad, Brahmaji is speaking Mahamantra. Gaur Leela, he is practically showing how Nata Paratarupaya. And he tells Narad Muni in Kalisantana Upanishad, there is no vidhi for Mahamantra. And he practically demonstrates by taking birth in a Muslim family and still chanting. No vidhi. Anybody can chant. So like that, devotees retain their individual rasa, their individual specific method of bhajan. So in this way, Shukdev Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit that Uddhav reached Badrikashram and there Harim ije samadhina. He started worshipping Lord Hari by samadhi. Text 33. Vidurop Uddhava Shrutva Krishnasya Paramatmanah Kridayo Tadehasya Karmani Shlagitani cha. Vidur also heard from Uddhav about the appearance and disappearance of Lord Krishna. But what was it? It was just krida. It was pastime. Kridayo pata dehasya. Krishna accepting a body and giving up the body. It is krida. It is Krishna's pastime. Therefore, in this verse, Krishna is addressed as Krishnasya Paramatmana. Krishna is Paramatma. He is a super soul in everyone's heart. And Vidur heard from Uddhav all this on the banks of Yamuna. And this information about Krishna, who is Krishnasya Paramatmana, who is super soul, this subject matter about Krishna is sought after with great perseverance by the great sages. What knowledge the great sages aspire for, that knowledge was given in one night by Uddhav to Vidur, Mahatma Vidur. In the purport of the previous verse, purport of verse number 32, second last paragraph, Srila Prabhupada writes, while present on this earth, Lord Krishna executed many uncommon activities, even traveling in space, for example, to bring the Parijat tree from heaven, recovering the dead son of his teacher Sandipani Muni from Yamraj. Uddhava was certainly informed of the conditions of life on other planets, and all sages were anxious to know of them, just as we are anxious to know about the planets in space. Uddhava was particularly deputed to carry a message to Badrikashram, not only to the sages of Badrikashram, but also to Nar-Narayan deities. Such a message must have been more confidential than the knowledge described in the pages of the Vedas, and more confidential than even the message of Bhagavad Gita given to Arjuna. Prabhupada says in the purport. Lord is undoubtedly the source of all knowledge, and the messages dispatched through Uddhav to Naranarayan and other sages were also part of Vedic knowledge, but were more confidential and could be sent or understood only through a pure devotee like Uddhav. So Prabhupada is explaining why Uddhav was sent to Badrik Ashram by Krishna. All other Yadus went back to Godhead. Krishna went back to Godhead. But why he left Uddhav? For this confidential purpose. Since such confidential knowledge was known only to Lord and Uddhav, it is said that Uddhav was as good as Lord. Every living entity can, like Uddhav, become a confidential messenger on the same level as the Lord, provided he becomes confidential himself by dint of loving devotional service. Prabhupada is saying by devotional service, we can also become very dear to Krishna, just like Uddhav. We can also attend. But it depends how sincere we are. Such confidential knowledge is entrusted only to pure devotees like Uddhav and Arjun. And one has to learn it through them in the parampara. One cannot understand Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam without help of such confidential devotees of Krishna. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that confidential message must be concerned the mystery of his departure and the annihilation of his dynasty after the end of his appearance in the mundane world for 100 years. Krishna was there for around 125 years. Everyone must have been very anxious to know about the mystery of the annihilation of Yadu dynasty, and that message must have been explained by Lord to Uddhav, and then Uddhav was dispatched to Badrikashram for the information of Nar-Narayan Rishi and other pure devotees who lived there. Now, if you, same purport to verse 32, if you look at the second paragraph, Prabhupada says that the message given to Uddhav, which is the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, is more confidential than Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Undoubtedly, Bhagavad Gita was spoken by, everybody got it? Verse 32 purport, paragraph 2. Undoubtedly, Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Krishna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to encourage Arjuna to fight, and yet to complete the transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna instructed Uddhav. Lord Krishna wanted Uddhav to fulfill his mission and disseminate knowledge which he had not spoken even in Bhagavad Gita. Persons who are attached to the words of the Vedas may also know from this verse that Lord Krishna is the source of all Vedic knowledge. One who is unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead by going through the pages of Vedas may take shelter of one of the Lord's devotees, such as Uddhav, in order to advance further in knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So like that. Now, this verse that we read, verse number 33, Vidur heard from Uddhav about the appearance and disappearance, the mystery, great knowledge which even the Paramhamsas want to hear, sadhus want to hear. Purport. The subject matter of the appearance and disappearance of Krishnasya Paramatmanah, Krishna, who is Paramatma, Super Soul, is a mystery even for great sages. The word Paramatmanah is significant in this verse number 30. An ordinary living being is generally called Atma. Correct? We are Atma. But Lord Krishna is never an ordinary living being, but he is Paramatma, Super Soul. Yet his appearance as one of the human beings and his disappearance again from the mortal world are subject matters for research workers who execute research work with great perseverance. See, even our 6 Goswamis did research. What is the proof? Which verse is the proof that 6 Goswamis also did research? Raise your hand. Yes, Satyarupama Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipunam Saddharma Samstapakam?
Correct. Correct. Nana Shastra Vicharane ka Nipuno, very expert in Shastra Vichar, in explaining the esoteric meaning, the deeper meaning, the Shastra Marma, and Saddharma Samstapako, and thereby, on the basis of Shastra, establishing real Dharma. So, research is good. Even our acharyas have done that. But it should be paramparagat. It should be done according to parampara. They first got instruction from Mahaprabhu that you study the Vedic literature and establish Krishna Prema, Krishna Bhakti, Seva Pravartam, Lupta Tirtha Uddhara, Vairagya Shikshan. So even great sages don't have information. What information Uddhav got from Krishna and Uddhav gave to Vidur. And Krishna always stays in the spiritual world, even though he comes in the material world. This question was asked in one of the classes. I think our Divya Mataji had asked. So here Prabhupada explains, look in this purport. But even the great sages have no information that beyond the material sky is the spiritual sky, Paravyam, where Sri Krishna eternally resides with his associates, although at the same time he exhibits his pastimes in the material world, in all the universes, one after the other. So Krishna is performing Leela here in the material world, but the Nitya Leela is going on in the spiritual world. This fact is confirmed in Shri Brahma Samhita 5.37. Goloka eva nivasati Akhilatma Bhuto. He is Akhilatma Bhuto, he is Paramatma in this world, Shirodakshay Vishnu, but he is Goloka eva nivasati. He is also staying in the spiritual world. Text 34. Dehanyasam chatasyaivam dhiranam dhairyavardhanam anyesham dushkarataram Pashunam Viklavatmanam. Sri Shukdev Goswami is saying Lord Krishna's glorious acts and his acceptance of various transcendental forms for the performance of extraordinary pastimes in the mortal world are very difficult for anyone to understand. Dushkarataram. Very difficult to understand for anyone other than his own devotees. Devotees can understand. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. My devotees can know me. And for the beasts, Pashunam Viklavatmana. It is simply a mental disturbance. Those wicked people who have no faith in Krishna, for them, Krishna's activities are simply a disturbance to them because they cannot fathom how Krishna can do. They get angry. Why Krishna is marrying 16,108 wives? Why Krishna is dancing with other people's wives in the middle of the night in Vrindavan? So for them, it's just a disturbance. I remember when I was doing my surgical residency in Maharashtra, I was trying to share Krishna consciousness with one of my surgery professors. So I gave him the Marathi Krishna book. It was Janmashtami and he wished me Hare Krishna. So I was very happy. I thought I should reciprocate. So I gave him Krishna book, even though he was a meat eater. Marathi Krishna book. And the next morning, in the surgical rounds in the ward, in front of the patients, nurses, fellow residents, associate professor, assistant professor, in front of the whole team, he told me, Are Kai, what book you gave me? That Krishna book. How Krishna can, Are, chi 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 chi, kiti ashleel. What vulgar description is there of the Ras Leela? Like that, he told me. Hmm? So then I understood that some people are very wicked. They are calling the beautiful pastimes of Krishna to be vulgar publicly. And Prabhupada is saying here, and Srila Shukdev Goswami is saying, Pashunam Viklavatmana. These human beings, they may be professors, very educated, but they are no better than Pashu. They're animals, they're beasts, foolish people. Krishna is having such enjoyment with his pure devotees. For the pure devotees, the gopis, it is the perfection of their spiritual life to be dancing with Krishna. The manjaris are so tastefully making the rasa sthali very beautiful with so many flower decoration, such nice beverages for Radha Krishna to drink. The manjaris are playing such nice musical instruments. And this professor is eating chicken tandoori and saying, What nonsense, vulgar book you have given me. The rascal went straight to Raslila. Look at this professor. He went straight to the Raslila chapter of Krishna book. So such people are Pashu. They are animals, they are beasts. Naham prakasha sarvasya. What is that? Namam dushkrutino muda prapadyante naradhama. Maya ritadnyana asuram bhavam ashrita. They have taken shelter of the asuric bhav. They are demons. Pashunam viklavatmana. Prabhupada says in the purport, the transcendental forms and pastimes of Lord Krishna as described in Bhagavad Gita are difficult subject matters for those who are not devotees to understand. Lord never reveals himself to such jnanis and yogis. What to speak of karmis? If Krishna is not revealing himself to jnanis and yogis, yogis want siddhi, ashtanga yogis. Jnani want mukti. And to them, Krishna is not revealing. What to speak of this karmis who are simply after bhakti, sense enjoyment? So therefore, we should be careful what we discuss with who. After that, I'm very careful. After that, I'm very careful. I don't... our Radha Krishna's intimate pastimes should not be shared with these people. I think Prabhupada's smaller books are better for them. Elevation to Krishna consciousness, perfect questions, perfect answers, science of self-realization, perfection of yoga. These books are better initially for them. Bhagavad Gita is very good. There is no mention of Srimati Radharani directly. These people should not be given access to our Radharani. The transcendental bodily expansions manifested by Lord Krishna. I'm reading the last paragraph of purport 2 verse 34. Krishna's pastimes in this mortal world and the appearance and disappearance of Krishna and his different expansions are difficult subject matters. This Sunday I was giving Sunday feast, serving the Sunday feast in ISKCON Atlanta. My topic was Kurmadev. And I was having such a hard time because there were brand new people there. And I was telling them that there is a hundreds of thousands of miles big tortoise, and he's swimming in the ocean, and it's an ocean of milk. And he is going to retrieve a mountain that has sunk to the bottom of the ocean of milk, and this mountain is made of gold. And then he picks up and keeps the mountain on the back. And then on one side are the demigods, one side are the demons, and they're holding a rope. This rope is actually a snake called Vasuki. And that snake is wrapped around, and they are churning this ocean of milk. Hmm. And then so many things are coming out. The moon came out. There are brand new people sitting in the audience. And previous Sunday, speaking about Matsya Avatar, and there the whole world is flooded, and there is one ship being pulled by a big fish who has a horn, and the fish is tied to the horn also with the same Vasuki snake. And for billions of years, the king is there, Satyavrat, and this fish is speaking to the king and talking Vedic knowledge. So these were complete American people, all American people coming for the first time to the temple. So Prabhupada is saying here, see, the transcendental bodily expansions manifested by Lord Krishna for his pastimes in this material world are difficult subject matters. How they will understand Kurma, Matsya, and then now Narsimha Chaturdashi is coming. Half man, half lion. Hare Krishna. These are difficult subject matters. And those who are not devotees are advised not to discuss Lord Krishna's appearance and disappearance, lest they commit further offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord. Hare Krishna. The more they discuss the transcendental appearance and disappearance of Lord Krishna in the Asuric spirit means non-devotional spirit, the more they enter into the darkest region of hell. Anyone who is against the transcendental loving service of Lord Krishna is more or less a beastly creature. He's an animal, as confirmed in this verse of Grantharachanam. Pashunam Viklavatmanam, text 35. Dear devotees, this verse 35, is one of my most favorite verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.4.35. One of the most favorite verses and most favorite purports. Are you ready? Say Hari Bol if you're ready. Raise your hand, say Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.4.35. One of my most favorite verses. Shri Shukdev Goswami is telling Maharaj Parikshit, Atmanam Chakuru Shrestha Krishnena Manasekshitam Dhyayan Gate Bhagavate Ruroda Prema Vivalaha. Aha. Atmanam Chakuru Shrestha Krishnena Manasekshitam Dhyayan Gate Bhagavate Ruroda Prema Vivalaha. Understanding that he, Atmanam, who is Kuru Shrestha, he is the best among the Kurus, Vidur. Krishnena Manasa Ikshitam, that Krishna remembered him. When? Dhyayan Gate Bhagavate. When Krishna was leaving this world, Uddhav is telling that yes, Vidurji, then Krishna left this world. But yes, when he was leaving this world, Vidur, Krishna remembered you. And Krishna told me that make sure you meet Vidurji and give him my message that I remembered him when I was leaving this world. Hare Krishna. How much Vidur had done for Krishna. How much Vidur has done Vaishnava Seva. When Duryodhan was sending the Pandavas and Kunti Maharani to the Lakshagraha, the house made up of very flammable substances, where the walls were packed with camphor. The paint was mixed with ghee. Everything was very flammable. There were big jars of oil hidden inside the walls. And the plan was to set the house ablaze at night when Kunti and the 5 sons Pandavas were sleeping, to kill them. This was Dhritarashtra, Shakuni, Karna, and our Duryodhan, Karna, Shakuni, Dhritarashtra, their plan. But because Vidur was also a minister and he was the brother, Dhritarashtra had confided in Vidur. Vidur knew this. Political intrigue, this conspiracy to kill the Pandavas and Kunti by Duryodhan. So when they were leaving, Vidur, in the tribal language, Mlecha Bhasha, and Sri Srimad Radha Govindas Goswami Maharaj says in his Katha that it must have been English. In English, Vidur told Yudhishthir, because only Yudhishthir understood the Mlecha Bhasha, told him that, my dear child Yudhishthir, be careful of that weapon which can devour the enemy, even though it is not made up of steel, and even though it does not have a sharp edge. Beware of that. Which weapon is that? Fire. Fire is not made of steel, it doesn't have sharp edge. But bows, arrows, swords, spears, they have sharp edge. So beware of that weapon which is not made of steel and does not have a sharp edge. Only those who live under the earth can survive this weapon. So give an idea that make a tunnel, go underground, there will be fire, only then you. So in this way, Vidur saved the life of Pandavas and Kunti. And Krishna is remembering this. Any Vaishnava seva we do, we help a Vaishnava when the Vaishnava needs. A Vaishnava is sick, Vaishnava is suffering, Vaishnava is in the hospital, a Vaishnava doesn't have food, doesn't have money, doesn't have resources. We help the Vaishnava. Krishna will never forget. It is my very deep desire, dear devotees, that there should be a Prabhupada Bhavan very soon in North America. There should be a assisted living facility in North America where Prabhupada disciples who are old, they should be able to stay the last days of their lives in a Krishna conscious way and then leave this world. Right now, what is happening is some Prabhupada disciples, they are old, they have got dementia, or they have got some cognitive impairment, and it is not possible to take care of them at home, or they don't have family members. Some of them are not in touch with their family because the family is not devotee, or because they don't have family anymore, relatives have died, their spouse has died, whatever reason. They are getting really old. They are in their 70s, approaching 80s. Some are in their 80s. And we have to commit them to nursing homes because they need 24-hour supervision. At home, there is nobody to give 24-hour supervision. So they go to nursing home. And I went to this nursing home where Prabhupada disciple is. They are served meat. There is no kirtan. There are all karmi people around them, the residents as well as the staff. And in the final years of their life, when they are supposed to be Krishna conscious, they are anything but Krishna conscious because they have dementia. There is no kirtan, there is no association, there is no deity, nothing. They have no engagement. And these are devotees who gave the best years of their life, their youth, to Srila Prabhupada. These are devotees who were in that 2-month marathon to transcribe, print, publish Chaitanya Charitamrita. These are devotees who for years on the streets and on airport sold Prabhupada's books, Back to Godhead magazines, because of which we have so many temples. And now we are living in big Alishan houses, and they have no money because they never had a proper job in their best years of their life because they were serving full time in the temple. So their social security is bare minimum, $1,100, $1,200 a month. and they cannot afford anything. So they go to very bad nursing homes and they spend the last days of their life there in the geriatric psychiatric unit or in the nursing home unit, and they die there. So why we cannot have an assisted living facility where there is a house, big house where 20, 30 resident people can live, and there is a altar every day, there is Bhagavatam class, every evening there is Bhagavad Gita class, 3 times a day there is Aarti, Kirtan. They can read Prabhupada's books, they can hear Prabhupada's japa, Kirtan, they can chant. They have some human interaction with devotees, because in the nursing home there is no devotee interaction. This should be done now, because Prabhupada disciples are dying. They are old. So there are many grassroots level devotees who are not gurus, who are not GBCs, who are not famous, but they have been steady devotees for 50 plus years, and there is no arrangement for them. So there should be a Prabhupada house or Prabhupada Bhavan, like Nanda Bhavan, Prabhupada Bhavan, where these devotees, it doesn't take much. It's like building a house with more rooms and more bathrooms, and there can be kitchen. Or if it is close to a temple, like close to Prabhupada village, then from the temple the prasad can come. They can attend the festivals there in the temple. They can take darshan of the deities. But this arrangement has to be made. Something has to be done. If such Vaishnava Seva is done, Krishna will never forget. Krishna will be very pleased. Prabhupada will be very pleased. Krishna is remembering of all the devotees in the world. Krishna is remembering Vidur, because Vidur always spoke up for the Pandavas. He always gave good advice to Dhritarashtra, and he always tried to protect the Pandavas who were pure devotees. So Vaishnava Seva is very important. Uddhav was not some guru. Uddhav was not somebody who killed many people in the Kurukshetra war. He didn't even participate in the Kurukshetra war. Uddhav didn't do big things. He was just a son of a Dasi Putra. He was Dasi Putra, son of a Dasi. But Krishna is remembering him. Such a beautiful verse this is. Understanding that he was remembered by Lord Krishna while quitting this world, Vidur began to cry loudly, Ruroda, overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love. Prema Vihuvala. Again we'll recite this verse. Atmanam chakuru shrestha Krishnena manasekshitam dhyayan gate bhagavate ruroda prema vivalaha. Now listen to Prabhupada's beautiful, heart-touching purport. Please listen with rapt attention. We have 7 more minutes. Prabhupada is saying, Mahatma Vidur was overwhelmed by the ecstasy of love when he understood that Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thought of him at the last moment. Although he thought of himself as insignificant, he was remembered by Lord Krishna by his causeless mercy. Vidur accepted this as a great favor upon himself, and thus he cried. Thus he cried. This crying is the last word in the progressive path of devotional service. One who can cry for Lord Krishna in love is certainly successful in devotional service. Atmanam chakuru shrestha Krishnena manasekshitam dhyayan gate bhagavate ruroda prema vivalaha. And last verse, text 36. Kalindya katibhi siddha ahobhir bharatarshava prapadyata swa saritam yatra mitra suto munihi. Ganga, Jamuna are described in the same verse. Kalindi is Yamuna and Swa Saritam is Ganga. Swa Nadi Tiramasthaya Navadvipe Janashraya. So that Swa Nadi or Swa Saritam, Ganga. After passing a few days on the bank of the river Yamuna, Kalindyah Katibhi Siddha Ahobhir, few days spending on the bank of Yamuna, Mahatma Vidur, the self realized soul and the best of the Bharata dynasty, Bharatarshabha, reached the bank of Ganga, Prapadyata Swasaritam. He reached the bank of Ganga where the great sage Maitreya was situated. Yatra Mitra Suto Muni. Son of Mitra is Maitreya Muni. So Mitra Suta means Maitreya Muni was situated on the banks of Ganga, and from the bank of Yamuna, our Vidurji, Mahatma Vidur, came to the bank of Ganga where he met Maitreya. Remember, Vidurji asked Uddhav to accept him as a disciple and instruct him. Uddhav said, no, 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 I have to go to Badrika Ashram from Yamuna. But from Yamuna, you go to Ganga close by. Maitreya Muni is there. He heard the same instructions of Krishna that I did, and he will be your guru. So, taking that instruction of Uddhav upon his head, Mahatma Vidur comes to the bank of Ganga. He meets Maitreya Muni, and now Mahatma Vidur will ask Sri Maitreya Muni questions. That will be chapter 5, and Krishna willing, we will see that. We'll begin that chapter day after tomorrow. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the third canto, fourth chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Vidur Approaches Maitreya. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let's read that verse one more time. Verse number 35. Atmanam cha kuru shrestha krishnena manasekshitam dhyayan gate bhagavate ruroda prema vihvala. Just thinking that, knowing that Krishna remembered me at the time of leaving this world. Vidur jor se loudly started crying. Ruroda prema vihvala. Hare Krishna. And Prabhupada says, one who can cry for Lord Krishna in love is certainly successful in devotional service. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so I'll stop here. Yes, Shama Kishori Mataji, we'll take one question, then we'll end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for this beautiful class. Prabhuji, is there a project right now about this Prabhupada Bhavan, and can we help in any way?
I will reach out to Mataji. I want to do this. I want to do this, and I am talking to one Prabhupada disciple, Madhuha Prabhu, in Prabhupada village. Have you heard of Prabhupada village?
No.
Prabhupada village is a place in North Carolina, not very far from Greensboro, maybe hour and a half drive from Hillsboro, New Golokadham. A place called Prabhupada village. It's a rural place where some old Prabhupada disciples, they have some land, they have few houses, and they have a temple of Gaurnita, a very beautiful temple of Gaurnita. I had gone there to serve Hari Katha, and I met Madhuha Prabhu. I've been there twice, last year also, and this year also. Both Nityananda Tridashi, I went. And I saw the plight of Srila Prabhupada's disciples there. And really, it was heartbreaking. So Madhuha Prabhu has a land, I think it is 8 acres. So I want to purchase that land. Prabhuji said, I will sell it to you if you can build a house where we can make it into an assisted living facility. And then there are some devotees there, young devotees who have moved there to Prabhupada village just to serve Prabhupada disciples. So there are some manpower is there. There are devotees who will cook, who will help take care. And many times when these elderly people, they are together, they take care of themselves. They help each other, and they do so much better when they have company of each other instead of devotees living alone. For example, there is one Prabhupada disciple called Shubhra Mataji, who I saw. And she has such health challenges. And now we have reached a wall where the only option is to commit her to a nursing home. And we visited that nursing home, and it is so horrible. There is meat, there is just, imagine being surrounded by karmis in the last days of your life. There's no devotee, there's no temple, there is no katha, no chanting. They're just playing all these, what is it called? Some game, I forgot. They call out numbers and you scratch.
Bingo.
Huh?
Bingo.
Bingo. They play bingo and all those things. So we don't want bingo, we want Gaurango. So anyway, so this needs to be done and I want to do. But obviously, ekaki amaya nahi paya bala, harinama sankirtan. I cannot do it alone. So I will reach out to you, Mataji, but we will need more people. And it can be done because there are local devotees there who will be on the ground. And we can do things from here. So I will be in touch with you. Thank you. But if
Thank you,
anybody,
Prabhuji. Please let me know how we can help, and we can also try to spread the word so more people can come to contribute for this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Last, Silky Mataji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, done with pranams. Prabhuji, even kindly let me also know, like, if any seva I can provide from my end.
Okay, once I have something concrete, then I will let both of you know. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur.